plans are well underway with a local group of investors calling themselves 9 Fresh to buy and redevelop the former Cazenovia College campus. College shut down in 2023 because of financial difficulties caused by a drop in enrollment. Joining us now, one of the leaders of 9 Fresh, Kate Broddick. Kate, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start here. Very simple. Who is 9 Fresh and why do you even want to take on a project like this?
So 9 Fresh, we're a group of locals, some investors, some not, and really just the college closed, and we all really wanted to see the direction be led by local folks. That was also in line with the village, one of the village priorities, which was to regain local control. So we've been working for some time now, probably about 1.5 years at this point, to get this project over the line, and we're really excited to do that. So
yeah, give me a basic idea what you see right now as the redevelopment. Give me kind of like an elevator pitch as to how you see this coming together.
Yep. So some of the property is going to be taken over by some great local groups, and then we have sort of a traditional, from a real estate perspective, a traditional multi-use redevelopment of the main quad, which will really be mostly internal. But what we want to see there is a really vibrant community. The whole idea of this came about myself and a couple of my dreamy folks in the innovation space from across the country wanted to see this as a startup ecosystem. And so we've really broadened that from that concept. It'll have some elements of that, and then additional housing, community spaces, regular office spaces, etc. Okay. And then we've got the great Ecoin Center as well, which we have a developed plan for. So that's a real moving in the direction of kind of a district, so to speak, inside our little Cazenovia.
Yeah, I like it. So Ecoin, that's one of the questions I get a lot. What happens to the Ecoin facilities and center? That stays in some capacity like that?
Yeah, we are excited about that. We've done we've had a lot of discussions within the equine community about essentially really the best model to use the buildings for. They were traditionally set up for instructional use, and so are good for some equine activities outside of that and not good for others. But we've had a lot of discussions. That legacy will remain there. Okay. We're excited to kick off some equine programming there in the future. Good. So that will remain the legacy.
Okay. Here's another one I get a lot: the pool. Not a lot of community pools, that kind of side of town, so to speak. Are we keeping the pool? Is it going to be a community pool?
We will keep it. That is, by an order of magnitude, probably the most asked question. Either the pool or, as you mentioned, a community space. That building is a little bit in, you might call flux, as in we're just sort of determining every aspect of ownership, sustainability. You can imagine things like insurance, all of that stuff. But so far, the pathways that we see in front of us will include those elements for sure. Okay.
Plans like this, Shopping Town, Great Northern, they all sound great. They have local people behind them, but they definitely take money, right? How do you plan to buy the old college, then fund the redevelopment? That always seems to be the key piece to all of these things.
Yeah. So the capitalization for the purchase is pretty much lined up. We're doing a last little bit of fundraising on it, and that should be pretty actually solid. And then it really does become a fairly traditional and straightforward redevelopment project. And so it'll have multiple capital layers, which include sort of additional equity, things like bank loans. Certainly we're already in several grant cycles as we speak. And so it will actually look fairly straightforward. Okay. The benefits to the property are really that we can phase it out quite nicely because it is a bunch of separate buildings, right? It's not a huge property like Shopping Town Mall. So we do actually we'll be taking that phased approach on development.
Gotcha. Quick last one for you, Kate, before I got to let you go. Basic timeline, when do you think you guys actually get it, so to speak, and could really kind of push this thing forward?
Yeah, we should be closing next month, in the next month or so, and then looking to kick off the first phase of development with one of the buildings on campus by the end of the year.
Ooh, all right.
So that's really kind of the goal. We've got a lot of things lined up, have had great participation from the village. They've been amazing this entire process. So we think it'll run pretty smoothly.
Exciting, Kate. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We're definitely going to check back with you again soon.
Great. Thanks so much.